Just before we move on, when you think about your debut album, then when it came out and you've got the big single, are you then thinking, okay, I'm gonna go remain solo? Or are you, but because the industry shifted pretty quickly, because especially the
Yeah,
sounds changed, and Danny and Tommy were very busy with Vogue. How did you
yeah.
get caught up in things?
It was because in Vogue, so they put in Vogue out first. Originally, I was going to go out first, but Denny was just gun ho set on. He had his heart really set on doing the girls because it's something he's never done. You know what I mean? And when your creativity comes to you, you gotta use it when it comes to you. And he had all these ideas and stuff. So I get it. At the time, I was like, man, I'm supposed to go out first, blah, blah. But I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. And I understood because I would come to the studio and stuff like that, and the girls would get hung up on certain parts sometimes because they were new in the studio at that time.
Mhm.
And they'd be like, Sam, I don't have no ideas for no ad libs. Could you help me with ideas and ad libs and stuff like that? So we were all, we were like one big family, So, I would do stuff like that for them. And when they came out and got super, I knew they were going to be successful. When I heard the songs and seen
Mm.
the way they were putting it together, I said, man, you have no way, you can't deny what they're doing. And again, at that time, that's when those bass and big bass sounds and they've always put vocals high on the map. They never thought, oh, don't worry about the vocals. The track, they've always put just as much into the vocals as they do the tracks. So I knew the blend would work. So when my stuff came out and it went like that, my only thing was I knew I only had one style of song. I knew I only had one song on my album like that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like that was my worry. I was like, ooh, I got some other cool songs on there, like All That Matters to Me and Take My Heart that I did with two members of En Vogue, Dawn and Terry. And Black Paradise was cool to me, but it was like I had no more. Even Greedy Man was fine, but I had no more songs like So You Like What You See. You know what I mean? And I wanted to go back in the studio and record something else. And I started thinking, I said, you know why there's no more songs like that? It's because that's the only song I got a chance to really be myself on, writing my thoughts, my feelings, my arrangements on. And I knew that going out, I was going like, ooh, I need another song that complements this one. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, because they were so busy, because of the success of En Vogue, and then the success of my single, and now Toni, remember they did Toni's first project too.
Yeah, yeah, I hate it what
They
it
had
is.
so much stuff going on at that time, we didn't get a chance to go back in and do anything else that would have complemented So You Like What You See.
Wow.
You know what?
So,
There is a track on your album that I think should have been a single.
mm,
It's near
which
the
one?
end. It's called Circle of Love. I think
Yeah,
it's a
Circle of
great
Love.
track.
I wrote on that one too. Circle of Love. That's another one I got a chance to write on. A friend of mine is a DJ out here, and he tells me he always plays that. He said I play that Circle of Love. He said I play that all the time, man. That should have been released. Because for me, I thought at the time, I said, if we're not going back in the studio, I thought Greedy Man should have came right after So You Like What You See. Because Greedy Man was real up tempo. I don't know if you guys heard Greedy Man, but it's on that. But it's just so up tempo, and it's still on that same vein. You know what I mean? It's almost like it was that classic.
Was that the third single? Was that because I know Black
No,
Paradise came out and then there was a promo for Greedy Man. I'm sure there's a promo for it.
I think there was. I don't know if they ever released it. I think they released All That Matters. I can't remember which one, but I just know I wanted that one second. If we weren't going to do a new song, I wanted that one second because when I was out on the road, it would have allowed me to stay in that same vein. You know what I mean? That same up tempo thing. And I said, if we slow it down, we need to do Stay With Me. Because Stay With Me it's a beautiful ballad that was on that album.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, if we're gonna slow it down, because to me, Black Paradise was in between. It was a cool song, but it was as a performer, you come out and you doing all that up tempo, So you like give it the pro. It's hard to go, there I was, doom, 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 sitting alone. You know what I mean? It was just like it was totally two different kind of vibes. I was like, I think if I did Greedy Man, I could have did Greedy Man, and then So You Like What You See. You know what I mean? It would have stayed. It would have kept me in that energetic kind of like zone.
Yeah.
But to slow it down, it could have been Circle of Love or Stay With Me. You know what I mean? Those would have been I think, but if we would have ever got around to doing Take My Heart as a video, I think that would have blown up too, because I'm doing it with Dawn from In Vogue and Terry.
But then who's A&R in your project then? Is it, are you getting involved as?
No, at A&R back then, Sylvia had who was it? I think it was David Vance or somebody. I think David Vance was, but again, because Sylvia had so much going on at that time. See, this is what you learn about record labels. She had In Vogue. She had me, Gerald Levert, Kwame,
Keith Sweat.
Kwame, Keith, all at the same time. You know what I mean? It's just almost like all of her artists' songs were going up, beating her other artists' songs. You know what I mean? Like mine jumped up across to go number one. Mine went up past Keith Sweat and In Vogue and everything to go number one. So it was just like her artists were just doing this, you know, the music. So it was hard because I told her, I said, Sylvia, I want to do this. And she's like, okay, blah, blah. But when you start realizing inner workings, how stuff go, man, it's, you know what I mean? And they map stuff out months at a time. It's like, if you don't make that, you know, when they have those meetings, if you don't make that, okay, I need everybody on Sam's stuff, right? If you don't get that call, you don't make it. Then it has to wait for a whole nother cycle.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's like, now you got to wait 3 more months. You know what I mean? It just goes in cycles. It goes in quarters. Just like, you know, pay periods, it goes in quarters where they got stuff set. They got a calendar set for promo, radio, in stores back then. You know, wasn't no Zoom calls back then. Bomb and pops and all that. And it, you know, and it was, you get lost up. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you know, Gerald and them was climbing the ladder. He had some of his artists out. I forgot the
Rude
name.
Boys.
Written all over, yeah.
Yeah,
all
Rude
that.
Boys.
You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
Everything was taken off of it. And remember, she was over Atlantic, Warner, and Elektra. Remember, it was WIA. They formed that coalition.
Yeah.
She was the head of all of it, so she had quite a bit going on from the
Yeah,
time
and
that
In
I
Vogue
got
were really, you know, and that was one of the biggest girl groups at the time.
Yes. So it really kind of overshadowed everything. And yeah, and you know, so it's just like if you miss that first shuffle, you know what I mean? It's like,
then what do you do then as an artist
you know,
when all this is happening? So what's happening to you then when everyone is blowing up around you, Danny and Tommy getting a production deal, In Vogue's are blowing up, and you then?
Yeah. Well, once I blew up and did my single, I was fine. I was working a long time off of that, and then the industry started changing quite a bit. You know, hip hop really started kicking in quite a bit, and I started being involved, talking to different artists and stuff, and they wanted me to come in and do some stuff. At the time, they wanted me to do kind of like Nate Dogg stuff. You know how Nate Dogg singing hooks on a lot of different. And at first I was like, oh, I can do that. You know, that'll keep me out there, keep me relevant and stuff.
Yeah,
and then I started paying attention to what they was rapping about.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't think I can come back from that. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's not the image I'm trying to portray. And people said, man, but they pay big money for them hooks and stuff. I said, yeah, but just like Mike Marshall when he did, I got 5 on it. I mean, you almost know him more for that now than Rumors, right?
Oh,
and
so that was him?
That's Mike Marshall doing, I got 5 on
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Let's get key. Yeah. But see, that's him. That's actually his lifestyle. Mike Marshall, I love him to death. Like I said, we're talking about doing some stuff together. But he's into the medicinal marijuana and all. You know what I mean? That's his life. You know, and that's.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah. So for me, a lot of the hooks, like Nate Dogg and them, was like, I would love to go do some of those hooks because I had all these ideas, and some of these producers was like, man, oh wow, well, if we get you on the hook doing that, I can get this rapper doing. But rappers back there was like hardcore. They was talking about, you know, BIs and hoes and, you know, pimping and all that. I was like, that's not my MO. So I ended up stepping back, and then my daughter was born. So I was like, I want to be a present dad. Okay. So people said, just go to LA on the weekends. I said, man, you can't just go to LA on the weekends. You got to be out there, you know, and you know, until I'm working. And you know, I've seen a lot of people go out there and get just lost up, just trying to, I said, let me step back. I'm fine. I'll be fine for a while. You know, I wasn't broke or anything like that. So I was fine. So I was a dad for a lot of years.
Hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you love what you watched, there's over 100 artists that we've interviewed. So please check out the videos. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. But better still, become a member of Halftime Chat and get exclusive videos ahead of time. But thanks for watching. Take care.